Number 4 on the list, this is one of my favorite optimization activities to do, tracking and reducing non-convert. Wasted spend management. Noemi, I see a lot of accounts, and one thing I always do, search terms where orders equal 0. And I cannot tell you how many on a weekly basis I see that have wasted spend, like 60% of their budget, 70% of their budget, sometimes 80% of their budget is going towards search terms where orders equal 0. That means they're spending 10 grand a month, 8 grand is going towards search terms with no sales. I wonder, on a global scale, all the advertising dollars, how much goes toward search terms where orders equal 0? So this is probably the easiest, best optimization thing you can ever do. I ask people this all the time, where it's, imagine you took $1,000 of non-converting spend and you gave it a bad ACoS, 100% ACoS. You would instantly be adding an extra $1,000 of revenue. It's the only activity that improves your overall company ACoS and profitability all at once. So it's rare to find an activity that improves ACoS and scales revenue, but just take from your non-converting spend and give it to your converting spend. That's why I love this activity. So included in this for me is like n-gram analysis, like search term analysis, all those kinds of things.
I really love that. And it sounds funny, but whenever I'm seeing an account that we're onboarding, I was like, literally, we just onboarded an account that spends 70% of their sales on, or they're spent on nothing, on 0. Yeah. Oh my God, thank you, finally. Because I can really make a movement, a strong movement in your account, big time. Whenever you're going to get accounts with 10, 20%, or even 10%, like it's generating 0 sales. Those are the accounts that I'm seeing are more dangerous because you don't know whatever they did in order to create that data and generate that data. And also something really important, converting spend. So you already created a lot of amazing episodes when it comes down to how to track this. You also have the n-gram analysis tool. You also have the ad badger tool, search term report tool, which is going to show you exactly. I think the analysis is something that if our audience have not looked into, check out. Michael has a super specific and very specific and detailed video on how does he looks into n-gram analysis. But it's really important. We must be sure that we clarify between wasted spend and non-converting spend that we needed to attribute, because we are testing hypotheses and we're gathering data to confirm why are we right or why are we wrong with something. So I think that's really important. Now, obviously with the 70% and it's not going to nowhere, that's clearly wasted. But maybe from the 70%, you might have 5 to 10% that actually were legit testing campaigns that either you did not give enough time to gather the data, either you gave too much time, gathered too much data, and you decided to just pause the campaign and not even use whatever it was given. Either you made use of it and actually you understood that, hey, I just created a successful campaign that right now maybe it's a super high ACoS, but eventually it's going to come down. So these two things is really important for us to understand and to prioritize them, because if we don't, we're going to consider that everything is wasted spend. It is not. We need budget to test. And if we're not testing, we cannot know. And here, especially, I think it comes down to understanding when to get the data and when to believe the data and when to give it more time. So also understanding that the type of campaigns that we're going to create are going to generate different amount of data, and we need to allocate different spend to get the correct data. Meaningful data. By meaningful data is we're not going to compare exact match campaigns with discovery campaigns that are broad phrase, auto, category, and so on and so forth. So I think those are also it's a very minute detail, but it's very important for us to know, to clarify, because otherwise, if we're not going to track that as if this is a testing campaign that we're allocating 5%, 10% of our total budget, and we're okay to test it because it has the potential to generate additional sales, or we are ranking for specific keywords. Now we prove that with this specific keyword, even if we are standing in our head, we're not going to gain traffic because our competition is going to be preferred because they have better images than us, because they have more reviews and so on. So now we have that data to prove that if we're not going to change the creatives in the listing, we have no chance, even if they're highly relevant keywords.
Nobody has 100% conversion rate. Everyone will always have some percentage of non-converting spend, which is why I do call it non-converting, not necessarily wasted. So some percentage of your non-converting spend is wasted, and being sure that you track it so that you don't have is important. And again, it's what is a tolerable amount of non-converting spend? It's let's look at our business goals so that we can be sure that we're aligned. And are we hitting our business goals? Do we need to test more? Do we need to test less? Like all these things come into place and stem from the overall business goal.